Hello, good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening. Um, Today, I wanted to focus a little bit on business survival um, versus like personal growth, which there's a lot of similarities in both. Um, a lot of people like to focus on business and understand because you want the moolah. So, and it makes sense, but never neglect the personal development side of it as well. And understand like more people are interested in business because there's no there's no it's all age related, all age, all genders, everyone is interested in business. And then self development is different for if you're a man, if you're a woman, if you're old, if you're young. It's dependent on what part of who you are and what part of life you are in. So today I'll be talking a little bit more about survival for business and how to make your business survive from my perspective. So first we have to talk about the stages of business growth. So what stage are you in business growth? I did a little bit of research, not too much. There's like 5 stages of business, small business. So there is the existence phase where you're trying to simply exist and produce something that's worth paying for. And it could be different for different businesses if it's already an established business and it's something that people already pay for. Other businesses have done the proof of concept. Then that stage might not be that difficult. If you're a pioneer in that field, there's not a lot of people that did it before you. Then that stage might be a difficult phase. And if you don't have like a lot of connections or nobody, you don't have a lot of connections, people that want to pay for it, then that first stage is where you're going to be at just to exist. Stage number 2 is going to be survival. So once you exist and the business is established, now you have to survive because business needs money. It feeds on money, and now the focus is on how can you keep the business running. How can you feed the beast? So that's number 2, survival. How can you survive? The business might be something that you love to do, but just because you love it doesn't mean that it's sustainable. You have to actually find a way to be compensated for your time, your effort, and other people's time and effort who might be working for you. So usually businesses don't start with other with hiring workers, but at least for your time, you need to be compensated, and that's you have to survive. You have to like do the figure out how to do the paperwork, how to make it legal, and register the business, find the ins and outs and how to do the business legally. And then also like what tools you're gonna need to do the business, um, and how to get your customers, how you're gonna get your customers, how are you gonna do your marketing, are you gonna need to pay for advertising, um, things like that. And then the stage 3 is where you have success, because once you figure out this little details of running the business, and it kind of feeds itself, it starts the cycle. Once you get paid, then you have the resources to keep going. You can you can survive. You can pay for your own bills. You can pay for the bills for the business, and then you can come back and do it again, and then again, and then again, and then that's where you can have success. And this is the stage I think most businesses are at, is where they have existed, they figured out what they need to do, how they're gonna do the business, then they have survived, they found income, they found source of payments, and then they are successful now, and they might even have some workers, but they are able to do this in a cyclical process. They are able to take care of matters, and now it's a lot of times it's about putting in the hours here. It's about staying consistent, and that's what a lot of businesses are at right now. A lot of businesses. So the next stage for businesses is the takeoff phase. This is where you have to learn how to scale. This is no longer just you and what you're capable of doing. You have to learn how to scale, how to maybe hire workers, maybe have partners, maybe work with multiple other businesses, how to expand, maybe by brand, like own different branches, multiple branches, expand across the country, across the state, across the world, and especially if it's online too. Like if it's online, it's easier to expand. So this is where the takeoff phase is. You have to increase your reach. And then number 5, last stage, is where you have resource maturity. This is where it's growing at a consistent, it's growing or staying consistent, without you even having to do anything. Basically, you're just like making sure everything's okay, because you have people in place that are in the leadership positions. You have workers, obviously, and then you have people that are managing in your place. So basically, you are able to have someone else take your spot, and basically the business just takes off, and it's just out of your. It's as pretty much you're no longer running things. Someone else is on your behalf. So your time is freed up, and this is, I think, the cream of the crop, where I think a lot of businesses most businesses want to be in this stage, where you can have your time freed up. Me personally, I this is now only 1 year for the business, and so I am I feel like I'm like going between the survive. I was in the success stage. I'm at the survival stage still, and then going towards success stage. Because I don't think I'm in the first stage. But I am. I feel like I'm in between the survival and the success stage. Uh, I would like very much to to like to take off the business, make sure it takes off. But one thing I'm struggling with is it's like more seasonal, and the demand is not there year round. So like the growth happens. I feel like the growth happens when there's demand, and I can focus more on the essentials, like how to expand, how to make it take off. Um, because the takeoff phase is where I have to put the infrastructure in place to to create to meet the demand more, because there's a lot of demand. Um, and I have to also like, because right now I'm like an owner operator, so and I don't have workers, so I have to learn these skills that are so essential, because all by myself I'm not going to be able to scale. Having said that, I'm still a lot better off with the business than I am without. So last year, I made 50K in profit, which is kind of small. 50K in revenue, sorry. But the margin is high because it's just me. I don't have anyone working for me. But not it's not a lot. There's a lot more potential for the business, especially if I have someone working for me, and then the revenue would be more, would be at least twice as much, hopefully, depending on how many workers I have. Uh, but the margin would be lower because I have to pay the workers. Um, but let's just say that the profit out of 50,000 was not was almost 100%. You have to take off the expenses. I have to take off the expenses, the tax, and all that. But I think even with a margin, small margin, you still have the expenses. So you have to still cover expenses. So it's pretty much 100% margin, because all just by myself. So that's why I'm kind of stuck in between the survival and the success, because in order to be in the success stage, I think it's important to hire people and make it easier, because one person cannot like max the capacity of the business. I could probably keep it running, but it's going to be at a slow pace, and I'm not going to be able to take advantage of when the demand is high, because the demand is like it's high during the spring, then it comes down, then it comes up. But if I'm not taking full advantage of when it's high, and then when the demand starts to slow down, then I haven't by that time I haven't taken advantage of of uh, of the business. The business is not growing as fast as it can. Um, so this is my very rough survival guide for businesses. So what stage are you in? The recommendations or the survival guide for the business will be dependent on your stage in business. Are you still existing? Are you still trying to figure things out with how to make the business exist? You have to give it a name. You have to register it, LLC, uh, Corp, S Corp. Um, are you on the second phase? Are you trying to survive, cr- create income? Are you on the third phase? Do you have all the infrastructure in place? Do you have workers? Do you have business partners? Uh, are you on the fourth phase? You're now focusing on scaling the business. Everything is in place. Now you're just focusing on scaling the business. Are you on the fifth phase? A very lucky few where your time is freed up and you can have someone else run the business. And not only that, of course, someone has worked. You have workers in the business, and then you have people running people running the business in your place, and then you're expanding the business. The demand is the business is established. So, like I said, I'm in the success stage. I'm trying to basically keep it going consistent. And then what I have to say for that is that just stay consistent. Don't give up. Um, Connect with people because people are what make business work. Businesses run with people. So you have to be able to work with people. You have to be persistent. You have to stay persistent and set goals, set systems, and always be open to learn from people that are in your industry, people that have success not only in your industry but just in general success in business. Always be open to learn, read books, watch educational content based on business, and never give up. Uh, and also never overspend. Like watch your cost. Never spend more than you can afford. Never know your limits. In business, it can be a risk as it can also in life. So know your limits when it comes to spending money. Don't go into the negative. You have to let the business feed itself. You shouldn't have to take your personal money out. And if you do, yeah, it happens. But the business has to be able to feed itself. Um, if you like this type of content, please smash the like button down below. Leave a comment. I'd really appreciate it. I always give feedback to the comments. And also subscribe, please. And so that we can let the algorithm know that that this type of content is good content. Remember, do the hard thing, especially when you don't feel like it.